Welcome back, Ventura County. You are listening live to Girls on the Air. We are Real Women in Real Estate, AM 1590, KVTA. I'm Tracy Baldwin.
And I'm Karen Campbell. Well, we have Therese Allison with us today. She has written a book called Playing for Keeps. And Playing for Keeps, she was a businesswoman and had to learn how to beat the boys. To help others succeed, Allison openly shares how she became financially independent at 38 and retired at 43 to spend quality time with her children. Hey, Allison, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Thanks for being here this morning.
So tell us your story.
Oh, gosh. Okay. So I was one of those girls on the playground in elementary school where I was playing kickball with the boys. So I always, from that point on, was taking on the boys and liked to beat them.
Good.
And, so I played sports really all the way up until I went to college. And I realized from that experience for all those years that winning was something that I really enjoyed. So I took that into the workplace. And my first job was at an insurance brokerage company. So I was a broker for all the years. And when I was 26, I was kind of kicked out on the streets, and they said, you got to build a book of business. You're canvassing from zero, right? So, okay, great, And so I actually just made phone calls. I sent mailers, and eventually I built my book of business based on finding a niche. And I worked with healthcare providers, and the main reason I was successful was when I worked with CEOs, I asked them for referrals.
Nice.
And so I just realized, okay, I'm just going to keep, warm referrals. And really for about 8 years, that's all I did. That's how I built it. And it snowballed from there. In the 90s, Wall Street was giving incentives for companies to acquire, and healthcare was rolling up. And so, as I say, there was a large company called Med Partners, and they came into California, and they started buying my clients. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to have to give you my client list because pretty much all the people that you want out here for managed care are my clients. And at that point, I realized I need to work my way upstream, or else I was going to be out of a book.
Right.
And, so here I am. I'm a woman, right? Working my way upstream to Chicago, was successful there in getting that a client. And the last very large client that I had to land was in Birmingham, Alabama. Mm-hmm. So you can imagine a woman in the South. Okay, so I'd be in meetings, and I was called honey a couple times, like, oh my gosh, how am I going to deal with this, right?
Right.
So it ended up being successful, and it was successful because I had specialized. So I was like the person to be able to bring them what they needed when they were rolling up their physician groups across the country.
Now, do you invest in stocks?
No, I didn't invest in stocks. I was an insurance broker, so I was actually the go-between the insurance company and the providers who were providing care for their own employees.
Okay.
I was receiving a commission, and so the bigger they got, the better for me, right?
Right.
And so I ended up in 1998. We sold our company to Aon, and very large broker, and I had a 5-year contract. And at that point, I could have retired, but I was still in the game, and I wanted to compete. Mm-hmm. And after about 5 years, I decided that was it. I had 2 children, 8 and 11. Mm-hmm. And about 4 years after I retired, my son said, "Mom, will you write me your story?" I'm like, okay, sure. He's like, he's wondering why his mom was out traveling and in business and whatnot. How can he learn from that? Mm-hmm. And so I wrote, about 10 pages of kind of very boring stuff. And at the end, I had my lessons learned, and there ended up being 16 of them.
Yeah.
And it was the hard knocks, the hard knocks lessons. You're sitting there, and I've done a rate wrong, and they've already gone to the board, and they've submitted it, and I have to go in and fall on my sword with the CEO, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the CEO at that time was like, hey, you were honest with us, so you can keep our business. So I wrote those down for him. He had them pinned on his board when he went to UCLA. And I continued to mentor him for about 4 more years after he graduated. And then he ended up becoming a principal in a multi-billion-dollar business headquartered in New York.
Very nice.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. He was one of the youngest at 27, and it was that point I realized, oh my gosh, okay, so it worked for me, and it worked for him, and I can help others. And so that's how my pearls of wisdom came about in the book.
Tell everybody where they can find that. They can get that on the Kindle, right?
You can get it on Kindle. You can just go to Amazon. You can go to Barnes & Noble. So, yeah, I mean, so real simple things. People do business with people they like. There's the velvet glove as women, being feminine and firm and funny but smart, and being able to, disarm egos in a room if we're walking into a room that is predominantly male, which was my case in the brokerage industry.
Awesome.
And then becoming a millionaire. So,
right.
Congratulations. That's just amazing.
Playing for Keeps, the author of Playing for Keeps. How exciting. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Tell everybody where they can find you.
If you go to my website, playingforkeeps21.org, you'll be able to see the book there and be able to go into the links, etc.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for being
Congratulations.
here, Teresa. We appreciate you.
Thank you.